Thank you for the nice introduction, and it's my great pleasure here. And let me introduce a very fascinating and new project. I believe many of you may not be aware of AI now. We can help for the human resource management, and this is a fully functioning system, and we have built this system and make it function available. So first, I'm a computer scientist, and I have been doing all kinds of research projects like business, finance, and the supply chain. And after I have been doing all kinds of data-related projects, I realized as a data scientist, it's a big challenge to try to understand the human being and also try to understand the people-people relationship and also people-organization relationship. This is extremely challenging data analytics problem. So a couple of years ago, so I have the question, is it possible? Can we explore the data available internal the company and to help to improve the human resource management? And now, actually, we have all kinds of data becomes available internally, like the data we collect from ERP system regarding the talent performance data, and also CV data, and also internal communication network data. All this data now becomes available. Let us to help to understand the whole career cycle of the talent. So what we want to make change? We want to change from the traditional human resource management, and for the traditional human resource management, we have various issues. So first, many decisions has been very subjective. Say, for instance, regarding the recruitment and also regarding the promotion is very subjective. And also many decisions is built on fragment information. And also in many cases, the decision-making process is not so clear. So what we want to make a change is we try to bring more scientific view, try to make the decision-making becomes more clear, more transparent, and also more objective. So this is the change we want to make, and how actually we can do this? Because if my experience is, if we're working on any data-related business project, we have two sets of knowledge. One is the domain knowledge, one is the technology side knowledge. So in terms of human resource management, I always ask myself, what kind of things actually we can make algorithm to help? Say, we can divide all the functions from human resource management into 3 levels. The first level is for the talent management. Say, for instance, for the talent recruitment, talent development, and also talent retention. And also, we can move one level up, we go to organization level. For the organization level, we have the leadership, organization stability, and also the incentive. And also, the most important thing is the culture. How actually we can use a data-driven approach, try to measure the culture and try to evaluate the culture in the company. So we built actually a knowledge tree based on this 3 levels of concept and try to decompose the function and see what actually we can do to make this possible to use AI approach, try to help for the human resource management. This is actually the function we have implemented in the system. Because we only have 20 minutes to introduce these things, and I may not go all the details and also introduce all the functions. So first, let's look at the talent recruitment. It's very straightforward. So we can see we have all kinds of AI technology become available, like natural language processing, deep learning, and the speech recognition knowledge graph, those type of things. And what kind of data becomes available to evaluate talent? We have the CV data. We have the job description, and also we have the performance data already existing in the company. So what we are going to do, we propose for the automatic CV screen, and also we do the person job fit. Say, for instance, for one job, say whether this person can do this job, what's the match level to this job. And also we do the automatic interview assessment and develop a suite of recruitment toolkits. So first let's look at we can do automatic smart screen. And Say we have the CV, we can use natural language processing, try to understand the background of the candidates from the technical perspective and also from the project perspective, what kind of project and this person has been involved in the past. And then we can do this accurate CV distribution. Say for instance, internally we have many job positions, and based on our analysis, we can do automatic distribution to the relevant department. And also, for this talent job matching, and we consider about the information both sides from the job description and also from the talent background itself. And in many cases for the technical person, because we target for the high-level technical person, in many cases those technical person also have the research publication. So we not only use their CV data, but also we generate many keywords and also many knowledge from their publications. So then we can, using data mining recommender system approach, try to do the matching in between. So in terms of person job fitting, and we also consider about for this department function, what kind of function they're actually doing, and then we can enhance the people, say whether they can fit this job or fit this organization. So just give some result. So we have been applying this in the company for the campus recruitment and also for many recruitment event. So the quick result give some highlight is, say for instance, for the top 100 recommendation we have in this, we made the recommendation, 81 actually received the offers. So drastically, we help to reduce the number of CVs need to screen. I just give some indication, you can understand what AI can actually help for this recruitment event. So in the past, for every time's campus event, we received more than 100,000 CVs. So in the past, we have to get a lot of temporary recruiter, try to manually examine all the CV, and then identify the person can go to interview process. But right now, we don't. We only get the 10 recruiter. And we automatically screen the CV, and we can identify the person, can go to the next interview process, and also can do the matching automatically to different departments. So this drastically increases the efficiency and also can help us to identify many candidates which actually may not be identified before. Say, for instance, in the past, when the people doing manual examination, because all these recruiters, they may not have the same background, they may not be so sophisticated at the same level. So many recruiters, they using simple rule. Say, for instance, the candidate have to graduate from certain university. Otherwise, they will not be passed from their examination. But this actually causes trouble. It doesn't mean you from a university which is not on the list. It doesn't mean you are not qualified. So from this perspective, we actually bring more equality to the algorithm. So this is actually AI for social good perspective. And we don't consider about gender, we don't consider about age, we don't consider about which university coming from. We only consider about whether your credential, your qualification is fit the job or not. So in terms of interview, what we do is we actually automatically assign the interview person based on your credential. Say, for instance, this job may need a heavy Python skill. So we might be put the first interview person who interviewed the Python skill. If fail, then we don't need to go through the process. So this way, we can also increase, drastically improve the efficiency. Just now, we're talking about all these talent recruitment activities, and actually we put this into the Baidu campus recruitment event. And for this event, we built this interface online. The students only need to upload their information, and immediately, and we will create exam question automatically online based on their background and based on the position they maybe have interest in. So this question is automatically generated, and once they complete the question, they can go to the next stage when the system can decide whether this person can go for interview actually can see the people or not. So now we fundamentally change the recruitment process. We let the machine do the first gating. So when I design all these models, try to understand the candidates, is we not only using the technology way to generate the futures, because as I mentioned from the beginning, I'm a computer scientist. I've been doing data mining, machine learning for really, really long time. So we also understand for this domain, the domain knowledge are super, super important. So I leverage many philosophy from Chinese old philosophy, even martial arts. In the Chinese old martial arts, so how we can select the general for certain fighting. So I cannot give a lot of detailed way how actually I can generate this domain feature. Just give you one simple example. So when I try to identify the person who can work in my team, so I always look at so whether this person has good attitude. The attitude is the first. Whether this person can do small things. But the question is how actually we can extract the futures to understand that this guy do have the capability to can do small things. So I always ask some question along the line. Say, for instance, if I try to recruit one student, and I will ask the students, have you been working with your advisor on various different things? You help your advisor to prepare the presentation slides, to help your advisor to write the funding proposal, to help your advisor to write other types of things, and to do these tedious things. So once I have this communication with the students, immediately I understand. Some students will just say, wow, so my advisor simply wastes my time, or my boss simply wastes my time. I'm so capable. I can do many papers. I can do many research, but he put me in those details, tedious things. This kind of student I don't like. Because if they cannot do these kind of small things, they will not be able to do something bigger. And they can always find an excuse to blame somebody else. So I just give some hint what we do. But I learned this from the old philosophy. And we extract those as domain knowledge, domain features into the system. And also, try to understand a candidate, whether this candidate has a better future or not, whether this candidate is so capable in the future perspective is. So we also look at the many different perspectives. Say, for instance, we look at the time allocation for the person, and also we look at what's the social network for this person, and also we look at the choice of what kind of knowledge to learn. The knowledge is not the same. Some knowledge with high volatility. Some knowledge can be more sustainable. So we prefer the people who always want to learn the knowledge which are actually more sustainable. And also, in terms of time allocation, say for instance, my system might be identify one person. This person works extremely hard, starting from 9 o'clock and leave the company at 9 o'clock. And I will say, this guy, we shouldn't promote him. So once I give this message to the up player, they just say, wow. Why? This is hard-working person. Why you don't want to promote this person? Because I said, you look at his schedule. He already working so hard and put all his time on urgent, important things. He has no time to learn anything new. And his capacity already reached the up layer. So the bottom. So that's the problem. So if the person already, their capacity for this position has been exhausted. And also, he has no time to improve himself, to learn anything new. How would it be possible to put this guy into a position with even big scope? No way you can do that. So this just gives some hint how actually we can evaluate and do the judgment to extract the attributes. And we know now we are in the time we target for the high-level talent and the elite. Unfortunately, I may not have a lot of time, but I just want to say this is so critical. We identify the talent with leadership. The talent, we have this T-shape. The T-shape is they have very deep knowledge in certain areas. Say, for instance, they may expert in natural language processing, but also they have very broad knowledge in business. So we want this type of person and the candidates, but also we put head. That means this kind of person, if they have the leadership, then we say this guy is truly elite. The elite can lead a big team of talent. So how actually we can quantitatively identify who have better potential to be the elite? So we have sort of our definition about the leadership. So we try to measure from 3 different perspectives, like vision, team management skill, and the risk control and the risk management. Say, for instance, nowadays, because we are in the time, so everything is moving so fast. So it's so critical for the person who have this risk control and the risk management skill set. And so we can look at the many decisions that the people have done before. We put that into the log. And then we will visit this bag, see what kind of person who actually they can have better control on the risk and who has less control on the risk management. So another example, actually, I can give to you guys is we have this, we develop an index, this high potential talent index. So we try to identify the high potential talent and in the company. So I cannot give a lot of details, but just give one detail. So from the social perspective, because we are targeted for the person who becomes the technical manager, they usually have very strong technical background, but many of them are geeks. They lack of communication skill. If they do have communication skill, they will become excellent candidate for the leadership development, for the lead to be in the leader position. So just give one example. Say, for instance, we look at the internal company social network. If we have 2 PhDs just join the company, they just graduate. They graduate from the same university, even the same group. They become algorithm developer in the company. And the person A, after 6 months, we know they have a better future to be a manager. Person B, they have much less potential. Why? Because for the person A, after 6 months, not only doing excellent job for his own algorithm development, but also this guy starting communicate with very important people in the company, internally, within the social network. They become one of the key persons. So this actually tells 2 types of information. The first information is this guy do have vision. He understands the situation. He understands who actually important in the company. Second, this guy is very capable. Why? Because all these important people want to have 2-way communication with this guy. That means he has something those important people, they care, they value. So this actually is more like a hidden endorsement to show the capability for the person. Unfortunately, I cannot give more example along the line. We also check the person who can actually bridge the community and who can actually to be the Lord Betting Wall in the company. So this we actually try to understand from internal social network how actually they can bring the value for this business core degree. And also, we try to, we actually predict the employee who is going to leave the company in the next 3 months. So for this one, we actually has great success in the company. So this can help us tremendously to keep the best talent we have. Because we can tell, system can tell before 3 months. So who is going to leave the company? Who has the big chance, big probability to leave the company? Then we also tell the system also will reveal what kind of reasons might be this guy will leave the company. So in this way, the HR team, the BP, have a better way to retain this employee. So this is another function we have in the system. So we have all kinds of the reasons. Might be this guy leave the company. Some because of short-term incentive. Sometimes it becomes a long-term incentive, long-term development issue. And to the organization level, we have done many things. But today, I'm not going to introduce more details. But in a simple word, is we evaluate the manager and also we evaluate the organization, the different department, and we see the different risk levels for the manager corresponding to different peers in the same organization. So I just give some conceptual level understanding what I have done here. So when we try to build a team, we try to make the team more stable. So this is all the Chinese philosophy, try to understand, to keep the balance for 5 elements. But the more easy way to understand is portfolio theory. So we are actually try to increase the diversity. We have 2 levels of diversity. The first level is personality diversity. And the second level, we have this knowledge diversity. So we try to create a team. The team should have 2 levels of diversity. This way, we can have better creativity power in the company. And also, we quantitatively evaluate for the different departments, so whether they have this or not. So this is last PPT. So my experience can share with you is we are in big data era, but in terms of doing many business applications, small data also important. And also we're looking at this long-term regular pattern and the real-time evolving pattern, how actually we can combine them together. And the last piece is because I'm coming from the technology background, but I have been doing all kinds of business projects. Now I emphasize more on domain knowledge. So you have to understand the business pain, how actually you can extract those business problem into a mathematical problem. Okay, I think that's all for my talk. Thank you.
Thank you.